Hello and welcome to NDTV Profit. You're watching IPO order, and we have today country's third largest IPO, NTPC Green, which is opening on November 19th and closes on November 22nd. Price between 102 to 108 rupees per share. The company is raising 10,000 crores in fresh issue. And joining me today is Mr. Gurdeep Singh, who is the Chairman and Managing Director of NTPC and NTPC Green.
Hi.
And Director of Finance, J. Kumar Srinivasan, who is also the Director of Finance for NTPC Green and NTPC. Gentlemen, then thank you very much for joining us on NDTV Profit. Sir, to begin with, after 2 decades, NTPC is coming back to the markets. The first time it was IPO, now you're bringing your subsidiary to the markets, to an IPO. What is the glide path that you see for the renewable subsidiary?
See, you are right that NTPC is coming after 20 years for the fresh IPO. And in the sense that it is not NTPC, it is the NTPC Green Energy Limited, which is the wholly owned subsidiary as of now, as of today. And after listing, it will also join one of the listed company as a subsidiary of NTPC Limited. And NTPC Green Energy is the company what we have formed to take the transition for the energy, not only for NTPC, but also for the whole country to contribute. As you will be knowing that NTPC contributes 24% electricity for the entire nation, and we would be playing a very lead role in the transition also. And we have a very, very ambitious and very kind of pragmatic but ambitious plans for the growth in the renewable sector. And that's the reason we want to just come out for this public offering and grow aggressively in the coming days.
Give us a sense of, sir, the kind of asset base that you have in NTPC Green. You hived off the entire green portion into a new company in February 2023. What is the kind of assets that you're looking as we have today, and what is the kind of capacity or pipeline that we're looking at?
See, we have our stated objective of reaching to 60 gigawatt by 2032. And as of now, we have only around 3.3 gigawatt, which is commission capacity in the NGEL, what has been transferred from NTPC Limited. But at the same time, there is a huge capacity which is already under construction, around 11 gigawatt. And by 27 March, we will be having approximately 19 gigawatt as a commission capacity. This year, we will be adding 3 gigawatt, means up to March 25. In the financial year 25-26, we will be adding 5 gigawatt, and thereafter, then in the next financial year, it will be 8 gigawatt, and going forward, we will be ramping up this capacity. So we will be reaching to 60 gigawatt in all likelihood before 2032, which is our stated objective.
Mr. Srinivasan, 10,000 crores you are raising. What would be the object for this 10,000 crores?
Predominantly, this is going to fuel our capacity addition, as CMD was saying, that it will go to 19 gigawatt by FY 2028. So, predominantly, it is for adding to the capital expenditure needs.
And the kind of debt repayment, which I think you have mentioned in the RHP about it. Can you give us an idea of what kind of debt profile that you have as of today?
Right now, we have a debt profile of around 7,000 to 8,000 crores, and considering that we need a 5 crores per megawatt of for solar, and 80% is our debt requirement. So you can translate that into 19 gigawatt as for 5 crores per megawatt.
Mm-hmm. Also, give us some sense of the kind of capital that you would need. You have a very ambitious target of 60 gigawatt by 2032. What is the kind of capital that would be required to reach that capacity?
See, as of now, you can roughly just consider around 5 crore per megawatt as far as the solar is concerned. And out of the 60 gigawatt, what we plan is about 90% will be solar based and the 10% will be on the wind. As far as the wind and capacity, Capex is considered, that is around 8 crore per megawatt. So this will be a little over the 3 lakh crores of the total investment, which will be the, what we will be structuring this as a debt equity is to the tune of around 80-20, so 1:4 ratio as well. So there is a huge appetite both for the equity side as well as for the debt side on this.
How will you manage the cash flow, sir?
Yes, around 3 lakh plus crores of capital expenditure would require around 60 to 70 crores of equity, and
60 to 70,000 crores of equity.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, for the entire 60 gigawatt.
Yeah.
I'm saying but 3.4 to 3.5 lakhs, and considering a debt equity ratio of 80-20, we'll be requiring around 65 to 70 crores, 70,000 crores of equity, and around 2.7 lakh crores of debt. Debt raising is going to be through multiple sources, through bank, even the foreign currency borrowings, bonds, green bonds, and equity raising. As you know that already 7,500 is capitalized. We will be raising 10,000 crores. We'll start generating consistently our internal resource out of this ramp up of our capacity. As MD was mentioning, 3 gigawatt will be added this year, 5 gigawatt in the next year, and thereafter it will be around 7 to 8 gigawatt per annum. So this will give you a consistent flow of internal resources also. So that should be adequate, and considering the fact that we also need to dilute around 25% as per the SEBI guidelines in a matter of 3 years. So we'll be hitting the market again as and when it is needed.
And that would be a fresh equity that you're going to raise in a run-up to 60 gigawatt, right?
Yes, as of now, we don't intend to sell the NTPC's share as of now. We will be raising more and more capital through issuance of the new shares. But I think the important point is that how much dilution we will be requiring, because it's, you can consider roughly around 65 to 70 lakhs per megawatt as a contribution, which is the cash flow which will be coming. So at some point of time we'll be self-sufficient. But let me hurriedly just add here, which is the important part, that it's not going to be the solar and wind. Going forward, it's going to be the storage solution, and it's going to be the green molecule, which will also be a kind of, that will be in the NGEL. So the whole transition will be through this, the green or the non-fossil, I would not like to say the non-fossil, but the green component of the solar, wind, and storage and the green molecule will be coming through this. Hydro and nuclear is going to be in the separate subsidiaries. So this is quite clear on this side. So this will be on the, I keep telling, this is going to be on the 4 legs. Solar, wind, storage, and green molecule.
Green hydrogen.
Yeah, green hydrogen is the path to go through that. But going forward, it will be mainly the derivatives of the hydrogen, whether it's green ammonia or whether it's going to be the green methanol, ethanol, DME, or going to be sustainable aviation fuel, or even the urea. So this is a huge scope. The potential for this venture is immense. And as we go towards the transition, I think then there will be, this growth will be much faster than what people will be assuming today.
So all this will be through NTPC Green?
Yes, as I just mentioned, except the hydro and nuclear. So the coal and gas is already there in the NTPC main, and the hydro is, we have the TSDC and NIPCO is our subsidiaries.
Yeah.
So we will be taking up through NHPC, this TSDC and NIPCO.
Yeah.
And nuclear, for nuclear we have already, we are making the separate subsidiary. The first project is being taken up with NPCIL, which is Nuclear Power Corporation of India, which is in the joint venture. And we are also starting our own company, which is the subsidiary company, which is called NTPC, Nuclear Energy Corporation, which will be just coming in, being very soon.
So while solar and wind is articulated well, I wanted to touch base with the battery energy storage system which you spoke about. How much is kind of capacity that you're trying to build up there, and what is kind of capital that investment that you're looking at that?
See, the investment will be not a very good idea to tell the exact figure today because there is a sharp correction in the prices as far as the battery
Capacity,
battery
let's
is
talk about
concerned.
capacity.
But the capacity size, I can very well say that in the next 1 decade we will be at least adding 50 gigawatt hour.
Okay.
So we have the enough potential in our own power stations to integrate the storage. So we, as you will be knowing that we have to back down our coal-based power stations. So even in our thermal power stations, to see that it's a stable load, we will be having the storage solution. Although the power will be coming from the green sources. The another one is that whatever we are putting the new solar plants or even the existing solar plants, we will be augmenting that with the battery storage system, so that we are able to store that energy during the day when it is in abundance and utilize during the peak hours. You know that one of the issue what we started facing for the last about 2-3 years is that the peak demand is becoming the main concern, not the total energy. So we have to find a solution, and battery is one of the solution for that. But battery is not the only way to have the storage. For the storage, it's battery, it can be pump storage projects. And we are also working on some new technologies which is coming on the carbon dioxide based storage system. So we will be exploring all these things going forward.
When do you see the first storage coming into place?
See, we have already carried out the bid process. We have already opened our bids, and we should be in a place the order within the next 1 month or so. And it should take about anywhere between 12 to 18 months to commission that. So you can consider that about less than 2 years we will have our battery storage.
And what would the capacity that would
So
be?
this capacity is around 1000 plus 500. So this is 1500 megawatt hours. And we are also further going ahead with the new bids.
Yeah.
And also let me thank the ministry for that, coming out with the different policy and mechanisms which will be enabling platforms for those things. And we are working closely for those through our NVVNL as NTPC and NTPC Green, so which will be going in a long way as far as that. But mainly what we are planning is that the total Capex as far as this storage is, we will try to maximize in the NTPC Green Energy Limited.
What is interesting, what you told us a little while back, was to go the green way to all the way to hydrogen and to the derivatives of hydrogen, which is ammonia, urea and others, which is totally off your energy thing, but it's a derivative in that sense. What is the plan there actually?
Why it is the off way? It is completely, I think, in sync with what we are doing. We had been saying this very clearly, that we are not only thermal power generators. That's what the first we said. So now we are already an established player as far as the non-fossil is also concerned, or the green energy. And going forward, it's going to be the energy. So NGEL, what we have named, is the NTPC Green Energy. It's not the NTPC Green Power Company Limited. So you'll have to just see that from this. So it's a kind of well thought of long-term strategy, and to create the long-term value while meeting the energy needs for our country's growth to become the Viksit Bharat by 2047. We will be playing our important role in that, the leading role into this. And the green molecule is going to be the important part for the green energy solutions.
When does it come into play? Or
see, we have already done some pilot projects. I can share with you that we have already commissioned the first methanol, green methanol plant at Vindhyachal, where we are capturing the carbon dioxide from the stack of the thermal plant and utilizing the hydrogen to produce the green methanol. So the similar thing, then this is a pilot, 10 ton per day, but going forward we are going for the 100,000 tons per annum in another plant which is at Lara. And going forward, we are also working on the sustainable aviation fuel project. And let me share here that we have already signed the agreement with the Andhra Pradesh government. We have the place called Pudimadka, where we have 1,200 acres of land, which is on the coastal location. And this we are developing as the hydrogen hub. So where all kind of hydrogen derivatives will be coming in. Not only the process based, but also we would like to develop some kind of manufacturing works there. So today the ecosystem is, and the National Green Hydrogen Mission, and Site 1, Site 2, I think that will also be started. We will be taking part into those also. So it's a huge, immense scope in this.
And all this will be alongside existing plants, right? So capturing of carbon would be required alongside in that sense?
Yes, I think, and let me share with you that transportation of hydrogen is difficult. Transportation of carbon dioxide is not that difficult. So we have this Madri plant around 20 kilometers. So it's very easy to capture. So it's a double thing. So we will be able to green that, and we are also working on the biomass sides. So we will be increasing our biomass firing so that it will be also this reducing the actual carbon footprint. It's not only the recycling of that.
Sir, while it is very clear that renewable will have a bigger share in the entire power of the country, how do you see thermal playing out? Are you going to be as aggressive in expansion of thermal?
Let me, I think, just add here this 500 gigawatt for the renewable is a kind of intermediate step. There will be multiple of 500 gigawatt of this capacities going forward. But at the same time, I think this is a transition. Transition is inevitable in my opinion. But at the same time, what is the pace of the transition? That is what is going to decide. So as of now also there is a requirement for the additional capacity of the thermal, because to make sure that we have the power.
The base load continues to be there.
The base load, and till the storage becomes completely viable, I think there will be a kind of dependence on this. So we will have to see that we are meeting the requirement of the power 24/7 as we have connected each and every household. So through the Saubhagya, and every citizen deserves to be supplied the power as per requirement. So it is essential that we have the all sources of the power, and we really go towards the transition mechanism which is going to be sustainable as well as kind of affordable on that side. If it is not affordable, it's not going to be sustainable anyway. So it has to match, the pace has to be matched with that. And the renewable is going to be like the Government of India, which has come out with the rooftop solar, this Pradhan Mantri Har Ghar Energy Solar Yojana, but this is going to be very, very important. Similarly, the Kusum was very important. The solar, this major renewable energy parks, which is important. So there has been lot of policy initiatives which really help these renewables to come up. And as we go along, I think there will be many more opportunities which will be coming on the way.
Within the NTPC group, sir, the kind of capacity that you are adding between renewable, thermal and others, how much is going to be coming from each of them, whether thermal, renewable, nuclear, or going forward, another hydro?
See, today we are mostly talking about the NTPC Green Energy Limited, but let me, I think, share
just
with
to
you
give
that
an idea
also
of,
because you are taking this. So today we have 76 gigawatt of the total capacity. Out of that, around 62 is based on the coal, and around 6.5 gigawatt based on the gas based. Another 3.8, 3.7 is on the hydro, and this again. So as far as the coal is concerned, there is no gas-based plant which is under construction, but the coal-based plants which are under construction, either we have awarded the contract or we are going to award, well, it's kind of already in the developed stage, is around 26 gigawatt. So we should, by 2032, we should be around 88 gigawatt of this coal capacity. This is, of course, NTPC and joint ventures put together. It's the combination of that. As far as the renewable is concerned, that's what we have said is 60 gigawatt by 2032. But along with the storage, I believe that by 2030 we should be able to achieve that. We will not, and by 2032 we may be exceeding towards another 10 to 20 gigawatt. Maybe then we can reach around, let's say around 70 to 80 gigawatt by that time. We have very aggressive plans for that. We are working on that, and we are very thankful to some of the states who are coming forward for this. Andhra, just I mentioned, and Rajasthan, we have already 25 gigawatt of the foam capacity, which we have started working on that. Gujarat, we are working on Khavda and others, which is going to be around. We have our own renewable energy park, which is around 5 gigawatt. But in addition to that, we are also taking up some other projects in the other parts of the that Khavda park, which is totaling to around 7 gigawatt at that location. So put together, I think this is going to be.
And nuclear?
Oh, nuclear is just beginning. I think by 2032, what we are planning is only around 2 gigawatt. But at the same
This
time,
will be the modular nuclear plants.
No. This is to start with. It is going to be the concerned PSWR. But I think then this after this, we are also working we are discussing with BARC and DAE how to participate in the small modular reactors. So this is probably at some other day we will discuss, because this is a full-fledged subject itself. Yes. This is very capital intensive, it's very technological, and more than that, I think there is going to be a lot of regulations, etc., which need to be taken care of.
Mr. Srinivasan, a big capex plan has been laid out by the chairman here. Do you think capital will not be an issue going forward?
Capital should not be an issue at all, absolutely, because we have multiple strategies to do that. One is NGL, as I was mentioning to you, is a self-revenue generating model. And of course, NTPC as a parent is there to back up with a large cash flows available. And sparingly, if it comes to some point that we are ramping up our capacity, depending on all the storage solutions coming up, green molecular business. We have the option of putting the money from NTPC also through a right issue. So,
and that time the right issue will come to all the shareholders as well.
Of course.
In that sense, give me a sense of your margin, because I was looking at your margins, including the SPV for last few years, and how margins have contracted a little bit to 88% odd from 90 odd percent, which used to be in FY23. What is the profile of the margins for the green business, NTPC green energy business?
NTPC green, your EBITDA margin is going to be around 86%, and 86 to 90% it would remain. It's a competitive thing compared to your earlier regime of cost plus. Definitely the pressure will be on the margins. But our strategy would be to not only participate in the tariff-based competitive bidding, we also have the model for your joint ventures with other PSUs, where the offtake has a color of a agreed cost plus arrangement.
Okay.
So this will ensure that we maintain our margins.
Sir, how do you see tariff for green energy?
See, the tariff of green energy, I think you will see that it has been more or less stabilized. So one of the reasons is that government has rightfully put the BCD on the imports, and because of that there is a lot of capacity which has come. It's the best part to happen for the country. And going forward, there will be some correction, but it's not going to be, I think, the cost you cannot consider that it will be further dive down, like what it has been. Probably there is a kind of saturation which is already coming.
You're seeing modular prices, cell prices now bottoming out?
Modular price, cell price, even I think the impact of that itself in the tariff will start getting then marginalized. That is what you will have to look at.
As domestic production also picks up?
No, that is one part, but just consider that at one point of time, the share of the module cost was much higher, and today it is much lower in comparison to that. So as we are going forward, I think the impact of that will be kind of, so we are in a position to get around 15-16 cents, which used to be, if you go back even then about
few years back, it was multiple
something like that, it was more than $1, so it's a kind of thing. So that impact and this impact is going to be, and So there may be some correction, but I think more or less we should be looking at this, because there is this is quite affordable. It's ₹2.50, ₹2.40, ₹2.40, which is so it may come down by another 10-20%, but I don't think it's going to be much. But at the same time, I think this is my own opinion rather than anything else, that today in the beginning there is a lot of incentives which are given. So how long that will be sustaining, if it is the cost is already affordable on that side, so how long those kind of incentives will go on. So at some point of time, this will keep the prices almost at a stable.
Give me a sense of the receivables, sir. We had seen few years back some of the states taking time to pay. Your receivable days are around 98 days, which is much higher actually. Given the fact that government is now, putting in all the surcharges so that states don't hold on and pay the utilities. How do you see that environment shifting? Has it normalized now, or you're getting payments on time?
No, we are getting payment on time. What you gather from the books of accounts will also include those receivables which have not become due. There is a billing period. There's a due date that falls. So if you discount that, it is quite under control, and generally speaking, from the distribution company's point of view, their payment trend has improved quite a bit in the recent times, particularly after the LPS mechanism framework which has been put in place, and there are adequate, sufficient deterrent against late payment. So that is there, and generally speaking, the health of the distribution company has improved over the period. Their aggregate commercial and technical losses have come down. There are more frequent tariff fixation. The subsidies are coming in time. All this augurs well for this thing. And if you see the latest trend in the last 1 year post LPS, the current dues are all in time.
Sajid, let me just add to what DF has just said. We have not faced much problem as far as the dues realization is concerned. So whether it is for renewable or whether it is for our coal-based or the gas-based generation, what has been. So we had been able to collect all our dues and well within time for the last almost 20 years. Okay. People say that it's because of the tripartite agreement, but at the end, I think we have never been required to invoke that. So I think I must thank all the distribution companies to make
state governments in particular, who are now more disciplined in nature.
Definitely. So I think this dues realization is not there. But after the LPS rules which were enacted by the Government of India, I think the realization for the other players have also improved drastically. That's what we meant to say. But coming to this 98 days, this already 45 days is allowed by the regulator. So if you just take the bills which are not completed 45 days, I think then it will be well within. So there is a due date for that.
In fact, our outstanding days for NTPC as a whole is less than the normative level. It's around 30 to 35 days.
So my final question to you, I've seen many of the green companies or green energy producers doing the EPC themselves so that they can get that margin, capture that margin of EPC. In your case, you don't do that. Is there a plan to do that going forward?
Sajid, very clear cut, no. For our main kind of business, what we had been doing till we were going for the renewable, we had never kind of put any kind of manufacturing for whether it's a transformer or whether it's turbine or the boiler parts. So there is no airlines which is manufacturing the aircrafts. So what you have to do is you have to bring the efficiency and the efficacy in the business what you are strong at and what your people are, then the team is really comfortable with. I think this backward forward integration should be considered very seriously before jumping into it.
Sir, it was a pleasure talking to you today. Your IPO is opening on November 19th, price between 102 to 108, and you are raising 10,000 odd crores. That gives the company 91,000 crores of market value at the upper end of the price band. Thank you for being on NDTV Profit.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.